Hey there, Pastor Al here on this Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully, you get a chance to get out and enjoy this beautiful day that God has given us, and kind of another little bump of heat before we enter into fall, maybe, and jacket weather. So if you can get out, that'd be great. Enjoy the day with me. In the meantime, let's talk about belief, and we're going to refer to a story from the first three Star Wars series. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll identify with this and be able to remember this very well. And Luke goes to the Dagobah system and he finds this planet where Yoda is. He's told to hunt for Yoda, and he gets this planet. He finds him. He starts doing his training. We find out that Luke is not ready. He thinks he is, but he's not ready. But Yoda begins to train him, and in the meantime, his ship, which has been stranded on this swampy area, starts to sink into the water. So he wants to get it out, and Yoda says, just do it. There is no try. Just do or do not. And so Luke tries, he fails. And then subsequently he says, you ask for the impossible. And so then Yoda, of course, as we follow the story, he takes it and he's able to lift this thing out of the water, set it on dry land. Now Luke makes an important statement. He says, I just can't believe it. And Yoda says, that is why you fail. Because he couldn't believe it. That is why you fail. And I'm going to relate that to something as believers today for us. We're not going to spend any more time on Star Wars, but kind of reiterating how we look at situations that are beyond our understanding or beyond our comprehension, beyond our power. If we truly believe that God can and will provide for us, will deliver us when we need deliverance, we need to be putting trust in Him for those things. And there's a great story about the father who had the demoniac son right after the Mount of Transfiguration, and this demoniac son was being thrown into the fire, into the water, could not die. The other apostles tried to cast it up, but could not. And Jesus makes an important statement to the man who is the father of the demoniac. And he asks him to have compassion. This guy says, have compassion on us if you can. And Jesus said to him in Mark chapter 9, verse 23, if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. And the father of the demoniac makes this important statement. And he says, Lord, help me in my unbelief. And sometimes God may give us a seed of faith to believe in something, to believe for something from Him. And clearly He wants to meet that need. He wants to be supernatural on our behalf, whether it's provision or protection or health maybe, or just favor. But God has given us a seed of faith to go forward with Him. And that's a seed that comes from within here. We know we should be trusting God for it. We might fall and that may not believe like we should. And that sometimes is why we fail. We don't have enough faith in God. But remember what Jesus said to the father of the demoniac. He said, all things are possible to him who believes. Now, if I'm sold out that what I'm wanting or asking for from God is something that He wants from me, I should put all my faith and my trust that Jesus will provide. It may not be the way I think it should turn out, but one thing I do know is that God's eyes, it tells us this in 2 Chronicles, His eyes search to and fro to show Himself mighty to those whose hearts are loyal to Him. So if your heart is loyal to God, He's searching for ways to show Himself mighty in your life. And you can believe and you can trust Him. And I want to reiterate today that all things are possible. And in another story with the rich man who wanted to go to heaven, and he couldn't, and Jesus said it's impossible for these rich men to go into heaven. The apostle said, well, then who can be saved? And Jesus makes a statement. He says, with men it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. So as you think about God and think about His power this morning, I want to just encourage you that He has the power and the ability to do anything that you might think is impossible. Jesus can do and perform anything. All things are possible if we put our faith and our trust in Him. May you find that an encouragement today. And as always, have a great day in Jesus.